This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. 2 identified in Manchester mob killing. Commanding officer of the Manchester Police, Superintendent Lloyd Darby, has confirmed that 2 persons involved in the beaten death of 62-year-old Shifton Campbell have been identified and are currently being sought. Darby, who was speaking at the Manchester Municipal Corporation meeting yesterday, revealed that footage of the incident from the national CCTV surveillance system, Jamaica Eye, is currently being examined to ascertain the identity of others involved in the incident. The commanding officer, who described the act as barbaric and that it was an embarrassment to any semblance of public order and civility, also appealed to eyewitnesses to come forward. According to reports, Campbell was walking along Manchester Road in Mandeville last Friday when he was accused of stealing money just before being attacked by a mob and beaten. Police who were on foot patrol intervened and took Campbell to the hospital, where he died while undergoing treatment. Since Campbell's death, residents in the Victoria Town community have protested against the act, calling on the authorities to intensify their investigations so justice can be served. In responding to those who chastised the police for handcuffing Campbell in the aftermath of the mob attack, Darby said the police had to do what was necessary to protect Campbell from further attacks while taking into consideration the accusations made against him. Public sector workers give 72-hour strike notice. Public sector workers are set to walk off the job on Monday following the issuing of a 72-hour strike notice yesterday by the Jamaica Civil Service Association. The notice was served on the Ministry of Finance. The news learned that public sector workers have been on alert to take action, despite the ministry meeting Wednesday's deadline to respond to complaints about outstanding salary issues. The Jamaica Civil Service Association, which represents 30,000 government-paid workers, has expressed dissatisfaction with the ministry's response or lack thereof to demands to address items in its 2021 wage claim. The group is also concerned that the ministry intends to use older rates when adjusting salaries under the compensation review to be implemented this fiscal year. JCSA President O'Neill Grant told the news that the strike will begin midnight on Monday if their concerns remain unresolved. Among his requests, he wants the government to look at our claim seriously with a view of settling it and to recognize that the union is not going to accommodate a gap year without a proper conversation about what it is that we are giving up or what the government is going to be giving in exchange for what they're asking us to give. Additionally, Mr. Grant argued that the public sector workers have been subsidizing the government in terms of some of its operations, and this is becoming heavier and heavier every day that we have to bear certain price increases for doing our job. Government expected unrest during public sector compensation review, says Holness. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the government had expected a turbulent period to result from the public sector compensation review. Mr. Holness on Thursday tried to appease workers, repeating the promise that the government will not use the reclassification exercise to make any one group worse off relative to each other and absolutely relative to what they were before. Instead, he argued that the adjustment is necessary and is aimed at ensuring that labor, particularly in the public sector, gets their fair share of the prosperity that the country is and will be experiencing in the future.
We expected that it would be a turbulent period. The adjustment, however, is necessary. And as the Minister of Finance pointed out in his budget presentation, the government is not going to undertake the adjustments that will make any one group worse off relative to each other and absolutely relative to what they were before. The objective is to ensure that labor in general and labor in particular in the public service gets their fair share of the prosperity that the country is and will be experiencing in the future. This is not to make anybody worse off. I am sincerely hoping that that robust mechanism which took us through a similar adjustment a decade ago, which Jamaicans may not now remember, but a quick flashback to the point when we were teetering on the edge of bankruptcy as a country, when we had to undertake several structural reforms in our finances, when we entrenched fiscal discipline. It was done with the support of the unions as stakeholders and partners in that decision. We intend to use that similar process of negotiations and to negotiate in good faith.
Police to monitor demolition of building where human remains are found. The police will be monitoring the demolition of the old Loyal James Lodge building in Morant Bay, St. Thomas, following the discovery of human remains at the location. The demolition was halted on Wednesday so that the police could conduct a thorough search of the building. Assistant Commissioner Gary Griffiths, head of the Area 5 Police, said nothing new was found, so the demolition is to resume on Friday. He said a forensic team will be at the site during the demolition to ensure that anything found of evidential value would be secured. 7 skulls have been found at the location since Sunday.
We intend to continue the process. Today we carried out some searches and the forensic persons were there to see to the security of anything that could have been found or would have been found. Well, so far there was nothing found today. We intend to resume the process of demolition tomorrow, and the forensic team and search center will be present to ensure that anything found that could be of evidential value would be secured.
Mother of 5 gets 36 years for defrauding loan agency. A mother of 5 was handed a 36 years prison sentence on Tuesday after pleading guilty to charges involving a plot to defraud a loan agency of approximately $12 million between December 2020 and September 2021. Dubbed the mastermind of the scheme, Cadian Russell was sentenced to 18 months imprisonment at hard labor for 4 counts of uttering forged documents, 2 years imprisonment for 14 counts of obtaining credit by fraud, 1 year imprisonment for forgery, and 1 year imprisonment for conspiracy to defraud. She was also charged with 4 other accomplices, however they will be sentenced at a later date. Senior parish judge in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court, Lorian Cole Montague, while handing down the sentence, disclosed that Russell will only serve 3 years since a number of the sentences are to run concurrently. Russell, along with her co-accused, were able to get a combined sum of $12.5 million in loans from the agency. Additionally, investigations had revealed that Russell, who received a total of $8 million as a result of the scheme, only repaid a total of $1.2 million. However, while standing before the judge before she could be sentenced, the court was told that Russell was once again caught up in another plot to defraud. This time it involved collecting money for rent for an apartment she did not own. According to court documents under the name Marcia Thompson, Russell was able to accumulate a total of $340,000 for both instances when the complainant paid over the money to rent the apartment. This occurred in March. These new charges resulted in Russell's bail being rescinded and she was escorted to court in handcuffs. Russell also pleaded guilty to the new charges of obtaining money by false pretense and a conspiracy to defraud. Unable to hide her shock that Russell would commit another crime of the same nature while on bail, Cole Montague stated, "Miss Russell, you heard my shock just now because you were on bail and awaiting sentencing from me. Is it that you are trying to push my hand to send you straight to prison? You are doing a fantastic job at that. If that is your goal that you're working towards, hats off to you. Do you see a bed at the South Camp that you like?" Responding, Russell told the judge that she was not aware that the apartment was not legal. "I have a friend, she was the one who asked me to assist her because she told me that the apartment was her relative's, and I did assist her by going and collecting the funds. Afterwards, I discovered that the apartment was not really for her," Russell added, stating that she also assisted the police in arresting her friend, but she was later released. Russell continued to explain, "She was arrested. I don't know what happened between she and the police because they found the evidence there at her house I was surprised that she was released. I acknowledged what I have done, but at the end of the day, I will not take the fall for all of it because all the fault was not on me only. But the prosecution told a different story. It was revealed that Russell was the one to arrange meetings with the complainant for viewing of the apartment and that she was the only one who collected the money. The other woman was only asked by Russell to assist with advertising the apartment, police investigation confirmed. You are on bail for serious matters, and one would expect if you are on bail, knowing that a possible sentence is hanging over your head, you would be very careful with how you order spaces. Sounds reasonable, Cole Montague stated. I tell people I am one judge. I don't sugarcoat things for anybody because I don't work at a bakery. It's very difficult, even after weighing what you are saying, to be sympathetic to you. No wonder the lawyer not in the new case, the judge went on to say, confirming that Russell's attorney-at-law, Hopeton Marshall, was not representing her on the new matters. Before sentencing, Marshall was hard-pressed asking for leniency for his client. Acknowledging her actions, he pleaded for leniency on the sake of her children, ages ranging from 1 to 12 years old. Russell, who also had a previous larceny conviction, is to return to court on July 11 for sentencing for the other matters. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.